I'm Kevin Klein, City Councillor for Charleswood-Tuxedo and Westwood. We have said for a very long time that the Mayor is directing the public service to withhold certain information from some councillors and you, the taxpayers. We've moved motions to end this practice. We have been defeated each and every time by the Mayor's inner circle, EPC +3. That gives him the majority of votes no matter what. Even if one or two want to stray to make it look good. He still gets the majority of the votes for that. The Mayor then implemented this new hurdle, if you will, to really tighten the grip of his control, right? To tighten the grip of that control, he directed the CAO to implement a 1-800 line, if you will, or a general inquiry line for email. All councillors cannot direct certain questions to the public service because they have to go through and be vetted by the CAO's office or his assistant. We move motions to end that practice and say, in the interest of what you call transparency and openness and collaboration, which I hear about all the time from our Mayor, maybe you should take a step towards that. All talk and no action is not a great way to be a leader. And we certainly can't lead from behind closed doors now, can we? So they refused, and of course those motions were lost to the Mayor's inner circle, EPC, the career politicians, +3. Now, they've made it a little worse. Recently, when you send an email to the general inquiry line, you now get a message back with the answers that says this: the content of this email is confidential and intended for internal purposes only. We ask this email not be forwarded to a third party without the written consent of the sender. Now, the sender is not a person. Sender is the office of the administration. So I don't know, it's not a person. Which is, you know what, enough. We are not children. This is not high school. Leaders don't lead from behind closed doors. I asked what I thought were pretty fair questions about transit. The questions that I asked, which I wanted to share with you, were based on what's happening right now with COVID. I had heard from one employee of transit, more than one quite frankly, that they were concerned that the City of Winnipeg Transit Department is not cleaning the buses every day during the pandemic. I was shocked by that. I thought, okay, that's a good question, and we need to find that out. So I sent that, of course, to the CAO General Inquiry line. I actually didn't send it there, I'll be honest. I refuse to send stuff there, but that's how they respond back. And I also asked, we spent hundreds of thousands and thousands of dollars on the low-income bus pass. And we decided we're going to do it gradually, right? We'll reduce the rate year over year over year. It's all smoke and mirrors. They will send out tweets, and they will say, we've introduced a low-income bus pass. Now, it's going to take 5 years to get there, but we've done it. That's smoke and mirrors. Now, how many people are taking advantage of that? That's what I wanted to know. Well, here's what I'm allowed to tell you. See all this? Like, really? Is that the level of childness? Or it's childish. I'm trying to say, is this the level that we've stooped to? Like, this is ridiculous to me. This is unacceptable for a government in a democracy to behave. I'm not allowed, according to this, to share that information with residents. But you see, they don't pay my salary. And City Hall has worked like this far, far too long. Why do you think people don't trust politicians? That, right there, would be why. That's not leadership. That's control, not leadership. Just so you know, how many people are taking advantage of our low-income bus pass that costs hundreds of thousands? 128. Is that because it's too hard? Is that because it's really not that much of a savings? We don't know. They don't share that information with us. They don't tell us. 128. And about the cleaning? No. This government is not cleaning the buses every day. So we've put the restrictions on you. We had this big special council meeting. We had the mayor in front of the media. We had all these accolades from members of the mayor's inner circle about how great it is that the mayor's taking this leadership and putting masks as a requirement on city buses. And it is a great idea. In fact, it should have been done a long time ago, but we spent 3 months hoping and praying that the province would do it for us so that we didn't have to get involved, because we didn't want to make a decision on it. I actually have an email to that effect. But let me remind everyone of something. Indecision is actually making a decision, a bad decision. So now this is implemented. We had all this money that we needed to tell people about it. We're going to promote it and we're going to hand out masks. But if you read the fine details, for 2 weeks, and as long as supplies last. We got out of that council meeting and all the face masks were already handed out to people in this building, all the offices. So, smoke and mirrors. But you can't play that game when it comes to people's health. I'm sorry. Buses should be cleaned on a regular basis, daily, not every 2 days. We don't know. That's the whole problem with this pandemic. Even the experts are struggling to understand this virus, and things change on a daily basis. But what doesn't change is that wearing a mask is a good idea, and you should do it all the time. And washing your hands every day is a good idea, and you should do it often. Basic stuff. So why aren't we doing that basic stuff? So listen, you need to call your counselor if this bothers you as much as it does me, and if it doesn't, that's okay. But you have to tell your counselor that this type of governing, when matters of health or even when matters of your tax dollars are concerned, is no longer acceptable. The mismanagement of this city needs to stop now. I'm here. You can call me anytime, 204-986-52, or, of course, send an email, kevin@kevinklein.ca. Love to hear from you. Take care.